Weapons director Zach Cregger's proposed Gotham City pitch needs to be heard by James Gunn after wild first reactions to his new movie. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Director Zach Cregger's next horror movie, titled Weapons, is slated for release next month. An advanced screening for the movie recently took place, and it received rave reviews. Many viewers praised its beyond messed up and off-the-rails ending via Yahoo News. Director Zach Cregger rose to prominence with his work on the 2022 horror drama movie Barbarian. After the movie's release, Cregger sat down for an interview and revealed he had written a spec script set in Gotham City but had yet to pitch it to DC or Warner Brothers, via comicbook.com. Since then, James Gunn and Peter Safran have taken over DC Studios, and Cregger has helmed his next feature film, the upcoming Weapons. The movie is receiving extremely insane first reactions, which have only fueled rumors around Cregger's Gotham movie idea. Here is why James Gunn should not ignore Cregger's Gotham City script and what it might be about. During the 2022 interview with comicbook.com, Cregger made the following comment about his prospective Gotham City movie. As a result, the insane early reactions point to Cregger delivering 2 horror hits in a row, making him a hot prospect for Hollywood studios. The filmmaker's rise proves he deserves a call from DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn after discussing his work on a spec script set in Gotham City. Since Gunn took over DC Studios, he has already greenlit a horror movie based on the Batman villain Clayface set in the DCU. At the same time, Matt Reeves' Batman saga is planned to take place under the DC Elseworlds banner. There's a script I wrote before Barbarian that takes place, in Gotham City. And, I think that's my favorite thing I've written. Cregger added that he had not spoken to anyone at DC or Warner Brothers regarding the script, but hoped to one day. With Cregger having proved himself as a commercially viable director, Gunn should certainly listen to his idea for a Gotham City movie. Gunn has previously discussed his struggles with nailing the tone for the DCU's Batman and differentiating his take from previous iterations. As a result, Cregger's Gotham-based script could allow him to first develop the city before introducing the Caped Crusader in the DCU. According to reputed scooper Daniel Richman, Cregger's script is focused on Batman villains Joker and Harley Quinn via X. However, this report was contradicted by scooper at APOC Horseman, who claimed that the script does not feature Joker and Harley Quinn but centers on a henchman. As a result, take any reported plot details with a grain of salt. Nonetheless, a Gotham City movie from Cregger would be a fantastic addition to Gunn's new DCU. What do you think Cregger's proposed script could be about, and which Batman characters could appear? Let us know in the comments. As a result, there is a good chance Cregger's script could be turned into a standalone project. However, if the concept is right for Gunn's overarching plan for the DCU, it would make sense for Cregger's script to be incorporated into the shared universe. James Gunn has been on a roll after the release of Superman, and here's every major reveal by Gunn about Superman and his future projects. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Being a lighter and colorful take on the character of Superman, monologues and dialogue-heavy scenes weren't really James Gunn's style. Even if he did, it would probably be for comedic effect. Surprisingly enough, the DCU flick does feature a 12-minute dialogue scene between Lois Lane, played by Rachel Brosnahan, and Clark Kent, played by David Corenswet. Being weary of a world that had turned against the very superhero they prayed for, Superman flies through the open balcony of Lois Lane's apartment, where the two sit down to have a heart-to-heart talk about who Superman really is, while Lois Lane contemplates breaking up with him. James Gunn has been hammering and toiling away to create a cinematic universe that these DC characters can call their home. With the release of Superman, and the film getting rave reviews, including one for me, there has been a ton of chatter and revelations by director James Gunn about Superman and the DCU. From the potential return of Henry Cavill to James Gunn's DCU to Bradley Cooper almost starring as Lex Luthor instead of Nicholas Hoult, James Gunn's Superman is filled with riddles and secrets that Gunn recently revealed in the Happy Sad Confused podcast. Well, here's every major Superman reveal by James Gunn and what it means for the DCU. Throughout his extensive Hollywood career, James Gunn has always relied on songs from the 70s and the 80s to put the audience in a groove. Compared to his other superhero movies, Superman has a lack of songs and rather relies on the music score composed by John Murphy and David Fleming to set the tone of the movie. Although there are songs in the movie, they are used sparingly throughout the entire 129-minute runtime, remember, punk rocker, in the closing credits. During his talks with the Happy Sad Confused podcast, the director reveals that the 12-minute talking scene was the biggest creative risk that he took in a superhero movie, but it paid off well. Before he was cast in the role of Jor-El alongside Angela Sarafian as Lara Lorvan, Bradley Cooper was initially considered by James Gunn to portray the role of Lex Luthor. However, the actor revealed in the podcast that he wanted Lex Luthor to be contemporary of Superman's age. And since Bradley Cooper was a little bit older, he wouldn't fit in the age range of David Corenswet's Superman. Gunn admitted that Cooper would have been a great Lex. With that age factor in mind, Gunn decided to take Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Gunn revealed in the Happy Sad Confused podcast that this decision was scary, since he hadn't done it before. Several of the original scores had to be toned down and made lighter to fit the theme of the movie, and the movie, Jor-El's remaining half of a message is decoded by Lex Luthor. The latter half of the message instructs Superman to conquer Earth and make it a second Krypton. Throughout the movie, audiences are kept in the dark about whether that message was fabricated by Lex Luthor or was it real. However, in the podcast, James Gunn revealed that Jor-El and Lara's message is real and not at all doctored. The reason for this controversial choice was that Gunn wanted the audience to realize that Superman was his own person with his beliefs and moral codes, despite being directly ordered by his biological parents to conquer the home where he was raised. However, James Gunn did give Bradley Cooper his due screen time when he cast Cooper in the role of Jor-El, who appears in a hologram message in Superman. However, as the trailer dropped and hype started, people started accepting David Corenswet as the new Man of Steel and eventually fell in love with his portrayal, again, me being one of them. When David Corenswet was initially cast as Superman, there was an intense backlash because of Henry Cavill's controversial exit and his millions of fans, me being one of them. In a movie, we are introduced to some new and old characters from James Gunn's DCU, namely, Guy Gardner/Green Lantern, Nathan Fillion, Hawkgirl, Isabella Merced, and Mr. Terrific, Eddie Gathegi. The three heroes call themselves the Justice Gang and are financed by Maxwell Lord, who was played by Pedro Pascal in Wonder Woman 1984, and the film depicts an unfinished Hall of Justice building. The murals depict several heroes like Jay Garrick, Flash, Alan Scott, Green Lantern, and Dr. Fate, which suggests a history of the Justice Society of America. During his talks with IMDb, James Gunn revealed that he was watching the 2022 horror film Pearl. Corenswet had portrayed the role of the projectionist, and Gunn thought, that guy looks like he could possibly be Superman. A quick search on IMDb brought the actor's name, and the rest, as we know, is history. However, Cavill soon announced his departure from the newly formed DCU, which made James Gunn has no intention of letting his heroes grow up in a grim dark world, as his comments about the next Superman story proves DC is in safe hands. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on